Hello friends, today we're going to be diving into the topic of how to manage a sales team. Have you ever wondered the right way to manage a sales team? Well, by the end of this video, you'll have a solid framework for managing your sales team effectively, leading to improved performance, higher morale, and greater overall success. Imagine having a well-oiled sales machine, consistently hitting their targets and always driving forward to success. Have you ever wondered what separates average sales managers from exceptional ones? What management techniques do these great sales managers know that others don't? Today, we're going to uncover those secrets and show you how to apply them to your own team. And we're going to do that by first covering sales management and what aspects go into that. Next, I want to cover training and development when it comes to managing a sales team. And finally, I will cover motivating and inspiring your sales team to success. If you're ready, let's go. So what is sales management? Sales management is the process of planning, directing, and controlling the sales force to achieve business objectives. It involves building a team, enabling a team, and motivating a team. In my experience, sales management is probably one of the biggest, most crucial elements for a team that is continuously growing and hitting their goals every single time. You know, we've had a lot of sales managers come through our business that have done really well. Some have been absolutely exceptional. And as I've looked at the ones who've been exceptional versus the one who's been average, there's certain things that stand out. Number one, the sales management who always show up and do things the right way all the time are usually the most consistent ones because they're consistent in everything that they do. We once had a team leader or a manager who just started being a manager and his team started seeing massive success, a lot more than any other teams. And there was people that always wanted to be on his team. People just gravitated towards this individual because he was very consistent in everything that he did. And I asked him one time, I said, hey, Ryan, tell me, what is it that you try to do to make your team exceptional? And he said, listen, the thing that I try to do to really help my team is avoid any distractions. So they don't have anything outside that is causing their minds or their focus to wander other than the task at hand. And I thought that was pretty profound, right? If as a manager, leader, you can eliminate any distractions your team might have, that's gonna allow them to perform at a high level consistently. And I don't know how many of you know who Andy Elliott is, but he's now kind of a motivational speaker, but he started out in the car industry. As an 18-year-old, it was a skill set he didn't have to go to school to learn. He felt like he had learned it kind of growing up through his teen years to become persuasive. And then he got into an environment that fostered training and helped him improve his skills even more. But he went on from being a car salesman to a manager, and now he's a motivational speaker and does a lot of training to help organizations, especially car sales management and sales professionals, perform at a high level. Now let's dive into training and development as it comes to managing a team. If as a manager you are never training your team, you are absolutely falling short from seeing the type of success that a team can have. One of the most important things you can do as a sales manager is to have consistent, frequent sales training that is consistently driving your salespeople to have more success and to improve their skills. And they can't just be generic trainings, they need to be well thought out and they need to be engaging. Because if you're spending your time away from getting potential sales with your team, you need to make sure that it's worthwhile and that time needs to be spent that's going to enhance their sales skills so when they are doing sales, the time spent is beneficial and it's improving the metrics that you're looking for. One type of training that we learned from an individual that was really effective for us was what we called hot seat training. So we got the entire team in a room and said, listen, we're gonna pick somebody and we're gonna do a hot seat training. It means that it's gonna be live, it's gonna be actionable, and this person's gonna be the customer, this person's gonna be the salesperson. We'd pick a salesperson and they'd have to go through the scenario or go through a role play at that moment where everybody's taking notes and you didn't know which person it was gonna be, but so it kind of created a little bit of excitement and energy, but also a learning opportunity when we were able to go through and say, listen, here's what we did, here's what the customer said, here's how you rebutted that objection, and here's how we could have done it better or improved upon it. So everybody knew it was an opportunity for people to learn and get better. It was spontaneous, but people learned and they were engaged, and it was a very well thought out training that really helped people improve their sales skills. Now, training is one piece of the pie, but development is another one. I absolutely love it when my sales managers engage in personal and professional development, not only for themselves, but for their team. Think about your team members. If one of them has a potential toxic or negative mindset, nothing is going to improve their sales more than changing that mindset to one of positive, excited, energetic. So having trainings associated with elevating their mindset is also really crucial for sales reps performing at their highest potential. And when it comes to managing a team, incorporating that is not only going to elevate everybody around you, but it's going to elevate their sales performance as well. You know, one thing we're big believers in is personal development. Obviously, we coach on it, we teach on it, but we believe it's big and important for every employee in our organization, especially our sales representatives. So we have a platform that we give to all of our customers. We even have organizations, larger organizations that can white label and use this platform. And it has tons, over 400 micro courses on personal and professional development. We give access for free to all of our employees to this platform. There's some AI built into it so they can rate themselves, how they're feeling that day on a scale of 1 to 10, and how they rate themselves. That AI is going to toss out 3 courses, 3 videos, 3 audios that'll potentially help them improve the areas where they feel they're weak. Almost like a virtual coach. If the coach were to come to you and say, listen, how are you doing in your life right now? And you say, hey, I'm doing great in these areas, but I'm struggling in these areas. The coach is probably going to say, you know what, here's some things that'll help you to improve in those areas that you're struggling. And that's what this platform does. And our employees, team members have absolutely loved it. And it's been a game changer for our sales reps. Finally, let's talk about motivating and inspiring the teams that you manage. One of the most powerful ways to inspire a team is to ask them to do things that you've done yourself. So if you're asking your sales reps to read books outside of office time to improve their skills, but you're not doing that, that feels fake. But if you are doing it, it's something you've engaged in and you do on a regular basis, and you're asking your reps to do that, and they've seen that it's improved you, chances are they're gonna take it a lot more serious. So I had a sales rep that when he first started with us was really bad, but he took it serious that he wanted to get good at the sales craft. So he put a lot of time outside of work, attending events, reading books. So when he became a team leader, he always had a book on his desk about sales improvement that he was reading in between closes, at lunch hour when he was eating, or even outside of work, but he always had books about sales improvement on his desk. So when he asked his team members to do that, what do you think they did? They absolutely engaged in that. And just by seeing him do that was something that they knew that they wanted to do, because they had saw him go from here to here. And he even got to the point where he recorded a series about how to be a good sales rep, and he has that published today. He has a book out right now that he has done about how to become a good sales rep. So finally, let's talk on motivating a sales team. I believe a good place to start when trying to motivate a sales team is helping them create a vision at an individual level and helping them understand their why. Especially in sales, there's gonna be time in sales when things do not go your way, when you struggle or you have a slump that you're in. So having something that's more powerful than you, something that incorporates maybe other people, your why, you're doing this for your family, you're doing this for your lifestyle, you're doing this to help these individuals or this charitable cause. Having a why is something you can always relate back to. One of the great books out there by Simon Sinek is Starting with Why. We all have a reason why we do stuff, why we show up every day. And from a sales perspective, having that embedded into who you are can help you through times of struggle, or maybe even times where you don't want to show up every single day. Having that why will push you forward. I also believe another motivating factor, inspiring factor from a sales manager or those who manage sales teams is a manager that lets his people know that he believes in them and that he cares about them. If you have a manager that cares, that goes such a long way for inspiring and motivating salespeople. I love the quote that says, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And I've seen this in all aspects, whether it's companies or athletics. I've been fortunate to coach some wrestling teams, football teams, and if those players know, or those wrestlers know that I care about them, they are motivated to perform, maybe for the coaches, maybe for me, and maybe for other people. But knowing that I care about them regardless of what happens gives them that added motivation and inspiration that somebody outside themselves really believes in them and wants the best for those individuals. And I've seen it in sales organizations as well. When you have a manager that truly cares about his people, those people show up excited and energetic to perform every single day. Now, these are some things that I've seen work well in our organization. I'd love to hear what you've done to manage a sales team. So please comment below. Let's engage in a dialogue. And as always, just for stopping by and watching the video, I've got a free gift for you. It's a 10 modular course called Sales and Persuasion. We normally offer it for $1,000, but it's 100% free, no obligation. Just click on the link below, aaronsalestraining.com. Once again, thanks for stopping by. Have an amazing day.